Right now, I am on an island in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea to learn how to fly underwater. On one of those. Wow! Look at that. Woo! Archie, that was sick. Let me introduce you to Archie O'Brien. He is an inventor and he is changing the way that people explore underwater. Archie, I have so many questions, but the first two are, how fast can I learn how to do that? And when can I get in the water?
Well, Mark, the good news is you're going to learn pretty fast. But first, let's show you your jetpack.
All right. Wow. Oh my goodness. Archie, what am I looking at right here?
This here is the world's first underwater jetpack.
I am so excited to get in the water and do what we just saw you doing, but tell us how this happened. You invented this.
That's right. So about 7 years ago, I was freediving in Koh Tao in Thailand, and I like speed, so I thought this would be a lot cooler if I could do it really fast. So once I got back to England, I sketched out some ideas and was looking to see if I can fit this much power into a unit that fits on your back.
Explain to us exactly how this operates.
Since we're on the table, I'm going to lay this one down. As that comes up, that's off, as simple as that. And then the harness, that provides a lot of buoyancy to the user. So this will keep you balanced in the water when you're resting in between dives. The mounts here, top and bottom, is where the jetpack clip into. And that allows you, when you move your body, even the slightest movements, that you'll change direction. So the movement through the water is super intuitive. The power is all in here.
Let's take a look at the power unit. This is, guys, check this out. Look, it has jets. Two jets.
The water comes in here and then it gets fired out the back, and that's what allows you to move through the water. It's a flying feeling. Your brain very quickly forgets that you have this, and you just feel like a superhuman.
And I'm assuming this is how we operate the jet.
Yeah, this is the controller. It's super simple, so once you're in, all you do is squeeze. That works in the same way if you ever played Scalextrics, the little cars that go around the track.
Sure.
It's a very, very similar concept to that, so it's super intuitive. And it's something you forget about really, really quick once you're actually in.
Okay, now that we know the basics of the underwater jetpack, it's time to get it in the water. All right, guys, the time has come and we have made it to my training ground. Now, what you see behind me is a protected cove and it has a white sand bottom, so it is the perfect environment for me to try out these underwater jetpacks. Now, Archie and the guys are bringing down the equipment right now. We're gonna put our harnesses on, put the packs on, and get out into the water to see if I can actually do this. Now you'll notice we're not using any air tanks. These underwater jetpacks are for free diving only, which allows you to move at higher speeds and is much more maneuverable than a scuba dive. Here we go. All right, guys, let's go flying underwater. Archie gets under the water using a technique called duck diving. This move is the foundation for all possibilities while using the underwater jetpack. But before I can maneuver like Archie, I have to get the hang of using the throttle. Whoa. Wow. First trial run on an underwater jetpack surface test. Went the wrong way.
You've got the hang of the throttle control now, so okay, really the next thing we got to do is just get you in and under.
After only a few minutes in the water, Archie was already showing me how to do the duck dive.
What we want to do is get our arms out a little bit. We want to lean forward and then head down, bum up, squeeze the throttle. Now, if you feel like you're going too deep, too quickly, let go of the throttle a bit and pull up.
Okay, got it. It took a few tries to get the hang of it. Okay, I try that again. But when I finally did, it felt like I was instantly flying underwater. That was awesome. Whoa, it is like so much different than I thought it was gonna be.
Yeah.
Wow, like cruising.
Yeah, absolutely.
I felt like a torpedo.
Yeah.
Oh man. Okay, should we go back?
Yeah.
All right. My first impression at the surface was just how powerful the jetpack was. It moved my body around with ease, and it was obvious that it could go much faster. That was unbelievable! It's hard to put into words what I just experienced, but I'm going to try. It is a rush. You get underwater and you immediately feel like you're a rocket. It's like being a fighter jet. I've never experienced speed like this underwater. To say I was flying underwater is exactly how it feels. You're like Superman. This is definitely the closest I've ever been to feeling like a real life superhero, and I can only imagine the adventures these jetpacks are gonna take me on moving forward. And with that, we're gonna go back and charge up our batteries so we can head out into the water again, but this time we're raising the stakes so we can see what these jetpacks can really do. All right, here we go, guys. Dive site number 2. It's time to take it up a notch. Let's see if I can get the jetpack out there and do some awesome maneuvers. Here we go. On this dive, we'll be exploring a rockier environment filled with a maze of seagrass. The goal is to navigate this deeper water where Archie can show me some advanced moves. But first we have to get there. Perhaps one of the hardest urges to fight when I was first going down with the jetpack was to maneuver my arms and legs. Instinctively, you want to kick and you want to use your hands to move around. But with the jetpack's power, you don't need to move your hands or feet at all. You just need to hold your breath and move your core around and point the jetpack in the right direction. It does the rest. As I got more confident, it became easier to hold my breath, allowing me to stay down longer and travel much further on a single gulp of air. I was also starting to feel like I had complete control of where I was flying, so I started trying some advanced maneuvers, knowing that the floating vest would bring me right to the surface if any of the moves didn't work out. I tried to learn like the bank feel.
Yeah.
Where it's like trying to force it to go one way doesn't work, but like just subtly like angling your body, you just go that direction. Unlike the sandy bottom of the training ground, the contour of all the seagrass and the rocks made a fun obstacle course to maneuver around. My goal was to try to get to some of the maneuvers that I was seeing Archie do. But after a few more pointers, I was finally able to pull off that instant flip underwater. I even got in my first barrel roll. That was awesome. Once I really got the hang of the maneuvers, Archie and I could fly right next to each other like two fighter jets moving through the sky, except of course we were about 20 feet under the water. Archie, man, that was unreal. I cannot believe how much fun I had out there with these underwater jetpacks. Thank you.
You're more than welcome, Mark. Great to see you today, learning in the shallows and now coming out into the seagrass. It was really something quite special.
All right, guys, that's going to do it for us in Corsica. This has been one of my favorite adventures of all time. The CUDAJET underwater jetpack completely exceeded all of my expectations, and I cannot wait to get back out there to see what else I can do with this amazing technology. The team and I have decided to create the ultimate choya challenge, also called the sharpest maze in the world. And if you look right behind me here, you'll notice there's a lot of choya. In fact, not just choya, there's all kinds of spiky, nightmarish plants. These are things you would never, ever want to walk through. But here's the deal. If you were to go all the way to the end of the maze, over 100 yards, you would find a table. What's on this table, you might ask? Well, it just so happens to be my favorite dessert of all time. The delicious, the scrumptious, the completely irresistible red velvet cake. And this one just so happens to be made from my favorite bakery in Los Angeles, Baker's Lane. So, trust me, I really want to have that dessert in the desert. But here's the deal, in order to get it, I need to make my way through this maze in under 2 minutes. And the kicker is, I've got to do it while being blindfolded.
Actually, Mark, I thought the blindfold might be a little too easy to see through.
Huh?
So I got you these blacked out goggles instead. I'll take that bandana from you.
I could work with this, okay. I really want that cake. All right, folks, here it goes. If you've ever wanted to see a human pincushion, stick around for the next few minutes. This is about to get crazy.
Alrighty, folks. Looks like we got ourselves a good old-fashioned desert showdown. No sense poking around. Let's get right to it. 2 minutes on the clock. Let's give him some spins for good luck. And he's off.
That, man.
Straight.
To your right, to your right. Good, good. To your left, Mark, to your left.
Oh, God. Straight.
Yep, straight ahead. Oh, watch out for that one by your leg. Back up just a little bit and then go straight. There you go.
Oh, I can't see a thing.
There we go. We got a little bit of a clearing
Time
here.
check.
You got about 1:30. Watch your shins.
Which way?
Oh, man. Back up.
Oh.
Okay, Mark, we gotta keep going.
Right.
To your right, to your
You're
right.
right.
To your right.
What is that? That's another one, is it?
No. Straight ahead. Yep, side step. Step with your left leg forward. Yeah, just go straight, Mark. Just go straight.
Oh my gosh, how far am I?
Halfway through, Mark. Come on. Don't get too close to those. Keep shuffling.
God.
There you go.
My leg's seizing up, man.
Well, we're in between two very sharp plants. So what we need to do, yep, you just turned yourself perfect.
Okay.
Go forward. There's a bush right below you, though. Step over that with your left leg. There you go.
Am I doing the right thing? I can't.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to feel for bushes with my feet.
Shuffle. There you go.
Am I close?
You're close. We got about 30 seconds, though. We got to make it.
I'm like terrified to finish this, Corey. Help me.
All right, this part's tight.
Dude, I'm stuck. I'm freaking stuck.
Ooh, he's gonna feel that one for a while. Let's slow that down real nice like and see an instant replay.
Okay, you just have to move forward. You're right there. It's right in front of you.
Oh, I feel the table. Got the cake. Yes! Victory!
Oh, dude, you made it with like 2 seconds to spare.
All right. I need you guys to remove the goggles because I'm like, I can't move right now. Corey, I'm gonna need your help. How bad is it? How bad is it?
It's bad, dude.
Oh my goodness.
Was it worth it, man?
Let
Take a bite.
Let me see.
You made it this far.
Oh, it makes it better. That certainly makes it better. Oh yeah, that's good cake. Okay. We gotta get these out. All right, I really need the stuff off the back.
I'm just gonna keep going, man. Ready?
Okay. All right, keep going, man.
Had you ever thought of starting over? Starting
2, 3.
from the again.
Yep, that was the worst one. Tell you guys what, I'm so happy I wore a cup. Okay, so here we go. Now, as you can see, I only have the choya left that are on the front side of my body. And this is the point of the video where I would like to attempt to show you how, if this happens to you, hopefully it doesn't, but if it does, how to properly remove these choya with the least amount of pain possible. The number one thing you want to avoid doing, this is like rule number one with choya, you never, ever, under any circumstances, try to remove choya with your hands. Even if you have gloves on, as you can see, these things go through boots, they go through fabric. So don't use your hands, you want to use a tool. Now, what tool should you use? Well, I'm glad you asked. Corey, my comb, please. Thank you, sir. No, I'm just kidding. It's not for my hair, but one of the best tools for removing the choya is a large tooth comb, just like this. Work the teeth under the spines until you grab the choya. You could kind of see I've got the fruit pulling up now. Ready? 1, 2, 3. Whew. Okay, that's one. Ooh, this one's gonna hurt. Oh, yeah! Yes! Yes, sir, that hurts. Okay, so the comb, it does the trick. But let's be honest, if you're out here hiking the Sonoran Desert, pretty good chance you don't have a large tooth comb in your kit. But what you might have is something like this. The Brave Wilderness team never leaves home without a good multi-tool, and I highly recommend you do the same. So you want to open 2 points of contact, just like the comb, wiggle it in there. See how I have good purchase? Ah, that hurts. 1, 2, 3. Ga! Ga! Velvet cake, velvet cake, velvet cake. Okay, I think I need to get this one off. This is a good opportunity for me to show you yet another technique. Corey, sticks please. Thank you, sir. Now, if you can't find any sticks, just look harder, because you definitely don't want to use your hands, like I said before. What you want to do is take the sticks, work them underneath, get purchase, and then same as the other ones. 1, 2, 3. Oh, yeah, just like that. But I gotta be honest with you, I much prefer the multi-tool, so I'm going back. Okay, this is gonna be a good one. And the final, choya. I hope you've enjoyed learning about the Sonoran Desert and all of its spiky inhabitants and how to remove the pesky choya should you ever have an encounter of your own. I'm Mark Vins. Be brave, stay wild. We'll see you on the next challenge. Ready, guys? 1, 2, 3. Ah! Oh yes, that cake was worth every single spine. And speaking of our spiky little friends that joined me on today's adventure, we actually did them a big favor by helping these choya complete their journey across the desert. Grow strong, little ones. And if you enjoyed this challenge, make sure to head over to the Mark Vins channel and check out my experiment to prove, once and for all, who is the spikiest cactus in the West. Ow! I'm just gonna say it right now, it only gets spikier from here. All right guys, right now, I am in the jungles of Borneo on the hunt for an assassin. This is a super creepy crawly insect that both flies and bites. And if I'm able to catch one today, I'm going to take a bite for myself to put it on the bite sting index. But there's a little catch. In addition to the pain I will experience from this bite, there's something a lot more dangerous than meets the eye. And as I'm going through it, I'm going to describe to you why you never want to be bitten by an assassin bug. We're gonna start flipping logs. We're gonna be looking on the leaves, looking on the ground, looking everywhere throughout this really dense jungle environment. There's all kinds of creepy crawlies in this rainforest. Let's search this whole area, guys. This looks really good. The assassin bug we're looking for is either gonna be orange, yellow, or red, any of which are gonna be pretty easy to pick out of this environment because we have a lot of greens and a lot of browns. The colorful pop of these bugs is not something that blends in very well out here in Borneo, but there's a reason why these bugs don't care. We'll talk about that once we find one. This is a cloud forest, and the air is thin. It makes hiking a little more challenging than we're used to. Nothing. Got one, right here, right here. Get the stick. Now it could fly. Guys, if it flies, I'm gonna spring into action, but I wanna see if you can get a shot of it. You see it on that stick? There it is. We got a red one. Red assassin bug. Andrew, can you hand me a jar? Sure. Thank you. See if I can scoop it up before it flies away. All right, I'm gonna put this down. You guys ready? We're ready, Mark. Got it. Got an assassin bug. A bright red one too. All right, it's game on. Oh man, I can see its dagger-like mouth already. Let's go set up the bite table. It's go time. Oh buddy, we got a big one today. I'm ready. At least as ready as I'm gonna be. Okay, the bite that I'm about to endure from this assassin bug, this fire red insect, is not only gonna be something that really hurts, but is also a bite that's definitely going to send me to the hospital. You heard me right. After the shoot, I'm gonna have to seek medical attention for what I'm about to do. Before I tell you why, let's take a closer look at what I'm up against. Okay, here we go. Perhaps the first thing that we notice looking at this assassin bug is its coloration. Bright red, speckled with a black polka dot pattern, and then of course that easily identifiable elongated head with the proboscis sticking out of the face. And that appendage, it's what's going to inflict the pain in today's bite test. Before I tell you about why this insect is so dangerous, let's get a closer look at it so we can appreciate just how unusual this assassin bug is. Now it can fly, so we gotta keep an eye on it. And hopefully it just sits right there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects. Ooh, almost flew away there. This has gotta be one of the most aposematic looking insects you could ever see. Oh. I got it, I got it. Right there on that leaf. Okay. Oh no. Got it. Oh. That was close. Almost got away. That was very close to ending this bite test way too soon. Woo! Got my heart racing from that sprint, guys. Okay, well, let's, I'm gonna hold it in the forceps for the rest of the presentation. How about that?
That works, Mark.
The assassin bugs here in Borneo can fly, and most assassin bugs can fly. And they range in sizes from very small insects that are called kissing bugs to very large. The largest assassin bug is called a wheel bug, and we have those in the United States. But they are not anywhere near as colorful as this one. There it is in a defensive position, attack mode, ready for battle. Let's talk about why the bite from an assassin bug hurts so bad and why they bite in the first place. It's an assassin, it's a predator. It is out there actively hunting other insects and invertebrates to eat. And the way that it incapacitates and kills its prey is by injecting with that long proboscis a digestive saliva. You can actually see a bead of it at the end of that proboscis right now. That is a digestive enzyme that when enters the body of a victim will dissolve it, and then it will use the proboscis like a straw to slurp up its insides. Oh, yeah. Okay, now let's talk about why this is such a dangerous bite for me to be taking. Some assassin bugs can spread a deadly disease called chagas. Chagas is a condition caused by parasites, mainly found in the Americas, but has recently spread to both Asia and Australia. The reason chagas is so deadly is because once infected, it typically goes unnoticed for many years until it silently leads to major health problems, including heart failure. The main reason I have not yet ranked assassin bug bites is because of the risk of this silent killer. But out here in Asia, it's safe enough to test this dreadful bite because the chances of me misidentifying the kissing bugs that spread it are almost zero because they do not live here. All that said, I could still get other nasty parasites from this bite, so I will be taking a full parasite blood test when I return to the United States, just to make sure I didn't catch a killer bug by accident. And on top of all of that, I have heard and read that the bite from these Bornean assassin bugs is extremely painful. So handling this insect can not only land you in a world of pain, it can land you in the hospital getting a blood test to make sure you don't get an incurable disease. And with that, I think it's time to rate the bite of the Bornean assassin bug. You guys ready?
We are, Mark. Are you sure you want to go through with this?
Not really, not really. But enough people have been wanting to know about assassin bugs in the comments. I am willing to take a bite from this one to describe the pain and to officially rate it on our BSI. I'm gonna rank this bite, like always, on 3 different factors: intimidation, pain, and aftermath. All right, guys. I think I'm as ready as I'm ever gonna be. It's time to go flesh to proboscis with the Bornean assassin bug. Got cameras ready?
We're ready, Mark.
I'm gonna do it right here on 3. Oh, this is like stabbing yourself with a bug. I don't know why, but it's a lot easier mentally to get stung by a wasp or a bee. They kind of do the work for you. This is like I'm looking at that dagger-like mouth part and I'm literally having to pop it into my own skin. I really don't like needles. Man. All right, ready? I'm Mark Benz, and I'm about to enter the bite zone with the assassin bug. On 3, 1, 2, 3. Dang it! Wow! I don't know if I got a good bite though. I gotta go again. Ready? 1, 2, 3. It's biting me. Yep, it's biting me. It's in. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it's getting me. Oh, yeah. Oh. Woo. Oh, yeah, that got me. Okay. Yeah, that hurts. Oh, wow. Wow, that is instant fire. Yeah. That is like a hot poker going into your skin. Yeah. Okay. Wow. And yeah, it just keeps burning. I can feel it. feel venom. I can feel the venom doing damage under my skin. It feels so weird. It's just like simmering under the skin. It almost feels like the blood is boiling around the bite. That was so weird. I've never had a more instant pain from what looked to be a gentle touch. Did you guys see the proboscis? It just kind of like went out like an elephant's trunk. It went like, whoop, and then touched my skin almost like a feather. It didn't like spear down like I expected. It touched the skin with the softest landing. I didn't think it was even gonna bite at first, and then I felt something from its mouth go under the skin. I don't know if you saw it. When I was pulling it out, you could see its tongue. Do you see that?
Yeah.
Oh, dang it. It got me. And it doesn't look like much, but it sure hurts. Holy smokes. Okay, guys, well, let's roll the rating on the Bornean assassinbug. Oh. On intimidation, this assassinbug is a standout. With its bright red colors and size, it scores much higher than other assassins you will find. On top of that, they do fly and bite without warning, making them a bug of most concern that you want to avoid at all costs. For that, it's a 7.8 out of 10. On pain, the pop of searing sting was quickly followed by intense burning and welts. It was very much like a hot poker that went in without warning, a sensation that I will never forget and really ranks it up the ladder. So for that, I give it an 8.1 out of 10. For aftermath, the swelling did flare up a lot after the bite, but in the days to follow, it turned into a more typical looking mosquito bite welt. However, this bite, of course, came with the big risk of parasites, and the anxiety of that alone bumps the score up significantly. And then there's the blood test results, which I was very nervous to get, but once I had them, they luckily came back completely negative. So while a positive test would have easily made the aftermath a 10, this time I got away with a 7.3, giving this bright red assassin bug a total BSI score of a 7.7. Right now, we are searching these tide pools off the coast of Eastern Australia for the most toxic fish on the planet. The stonefish is notorious for having the most painful sting in all of nature. And today, I'm going to get stung by a stonefish. But first, we've got to find one. Let's get looking. It's going to be very hard to find the stonefish because in addition to their legendary sting, they are masters of hiding. The key to this is going to be to move slow, methodically, and to not step on the stonefish. You could be looking right at a stonefish and not even realize it. And that's why so many people step on them by accident. But stonefish aren't all we have to look out for. This isn't the only animal that could do you harm here in the tide pools off of Australia. We also have cone snails and the blue ring octopus, one of the most lethal creatures in the world. And not only is it risky just being out here, but we also have to beat the clock. The tide is coming in fast, and this whole area is about to be completely underwater. So if we want to catch a stonefish, we need to do that before it happens. Everything looks exactly the same. This is gonna be tough. Oh, right there. You see it moving? That is the stonefish. And I never would have seen that fish if it didn't give itself away by moving. Holy smokes. Now these fish are so toxic, they don't really have a flight response. I'm gonna attempt to catch the most toxic fish in the world with my bare hands. All right, here we go. Wow, there it is. That is the stonefish. Look at that tide pool monster. I can't believe we found one. I mean, it looks like a living rock. I never would have spotted this fish if it didn't move. The fact that it swam a little bit there is the only reason I was able to catch this fish. And you can see how docile this fish is. It knows just how toxic it can be. Wow. But the table is set for what will be likely the worst sting I ever take. Placing the stonefish in the tank hit my nerves hard. I'm about to get stung by a stonefish. Stonefish stings are said to be one of the most painful experiences a human can endure, and I've already experienced my fair share of fish stings. One from the most common fish sting, which is the lionfish, and the other from the scorpionfish, which is the most toxic fish sting in North America. Oh, yeah, he got me. Oh. Each sting was painful, but I was certainly able to tough it out with basic treatment. However, each of those fish fall far short of the danger from the stonefish. Not every day you get to carry around the world's most toxic fish in a tank. This fish might just have the worst sting in the entire animal kingdom. Man, my nerves are firing right now. Just looking at this fish is so incredibly cool. Look at all the growths all over its body. Definitely earns its name, the stonefish, a master of camouflage. All right, let's go hands-on once again with the stonefish. The reason I can handle this fish is because it can only sting from the spines on top. Wow. This fish has developed the most potent fish toxin in the world. The toxin is only to defend itself. Unfortunately, as you can see, it is so docile that it's very easy for people to step on these fish, and that is the most common way people are stung by the stonefish. The toxin of this fish not only induces extraordinary pain, it can actually cause muscle spasms and eventual paralysis, and there have even been reported deaths from stonefish stings. But now I think it's time to see how this fish injects its venom. I'm going to just pour out this water. I'm gonna use this little tank here as a platform. This fish is perfectly fine being out of the water for extended periods of time because they've adapted the ability to actually hold water in their gills. It's not uncommon to see stonefish just laying on the rocks in these tide pools. So in the little bit of time that we have it here in front of the cameras, totally fine. All right, so I brought with me a piece of neoprene. I'm going to use this piece of neoprene to simulate skin so I can show you what would happen if you stepped on the stonefish. This animal has the ability to fire its venom into the wound created by its spine. That's why people who are envenomated and step on these stonefish end up in such a bad situation. It's not only that it's the most toxic venom, it's that you also get the most volume. Look at how sharp that spine is. Okay, in order to do this properly, I do need to get out some eye protection, so I'm gonna do that quickly. This venom, it has enough toxin in it to cause vision problems and perhaps even blindness. All right, let's see in slow motion how these spines inject venom. I'm gonna do these top two, guys, ready? Here they go. 1, 2, 3. Oh, wow. Look at that. And it's like blue. Holy cow, look at how much venom just came out of that fish. And let's do another one, do it one more time. Oh my gosh, guys, the spines are blue. And once those spines are out, they stay out. They're ready to defend. All right, let me try these spines on the back here. 1, 2, 3. Wow, that is what would be inside of your foot if you were to step on a stonefish. Now, it will regenerate its venom. This doesn't hurt the fish at all. And you can see these sheaths will just slide right back up. But holy cow, I gotta take a minute and process what I just saw. Oh, that is bad. I won't lie, I'm getting pretty nervous right now. This is something you should never do. I've consulted experts, people who have been stung. I've done my research, I've done my homework, but even still, I am extremely nervous about what is about to happen. It's said that this is the most painful sting in the world. Wish me luck. The moment has come. It's time to be stung by the world's most toxic fish. I am borderline terrified. I've thought long and hard about whether or not to even go through with this, but I'm doing this today because through my research on the stonefish, I have found a lot of misinformation out there. There is a lot of stories that pretty much describe certain death if you're stung by a stonefish, and that's just simply not the case. While this toxin in the base of its spines is extremely potent, it is thermal liable. So if treated properly, And if needed with medical attention, you will survive the sting of a stonefish. Most of the victims that end up dying from stonefish stings, but has more to do with the pain and shock that leads to cardiac arrest. This venom is meant to cause you pain, but I have brought the antidote with me today. A thermos filled with hot water that's around 114 degrees Fahrenheit, a compress to hold over the wound, and then of course, if I do go into any state of anaphylactic shock, I always carry with me an EpiPen. We are about 3 minutes drive from an emergency room, so even if the worst case scenario does unfold today, I should have plenty of time to be able to get to emergency medical attention. All right, my plan today is to take a microdose of stonefish venom. The venom from that neoprene trial is already coating the spikes, so they are locked and loaded, ready to go. When it's all said and done, this should be just extraordinarily painful for me and hopefully very educational for you. This is going to likely be the worst sting that I ever take. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with the stonefish, the most toxic fish in the world. All right, I'm gonna go with this front spine here. Ready? This spine. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Yep. I already feel a burn. I could feel it spreading up my finger right now. And it does not feel good. Wow, the tide is coming in. All right, here, let's, hang on. Let's move out of here, the tide's rolling in.
You okay, Mark?
Yeah, hang on, I'm gonna come over here. Andrew, put the fish back in the tank, man. Oh, right there is where the spine went in. God, immediate fire, spreading up my fingers. I can already feel it in these 3.
Need help, Mark? Are you okay?
No, I'm okay right now. It's like a different magnitude of pain. It is like throbby, achy. Hang on, I gotta walk it off. Yeah. I'm gonna try to tough it out for a little bit. I wanna see how far the venom spreads before I start applying the first aid. This is borderline unbearable. Oh my gosh.
Let me know when you need the water, Mark.
I'm just like, it's making me nervous. Oh my gosh. Yeah, definitely drew a little bit of blood. Oh, and it is hot. It's like closing my hand is becoming hard. Yeah, it's spreading. It's like all up the back of my hand now. I think I need to go for the hot water, guys. I don't want this to spread anymore. I'm going to the hot water. There we go. Stonefish is good. Now, I need to fix myself. So this hot water will actually stop the venom from working and should help my pain. Every bit as painful as advertised. I never want to do that again. And I need to get more hot water on this sting. And hopefully the pain subsides, but it's still increasing for me. Tingling pain continued to build and spread up through my shoulder all the way to my neck. Even a month after the sting, I still have numbness and tingles in my fingers. The immediate pain wasn't enough to send me to the hospital, but as we released the stonefish, I could imagine what would happen if a full load of its venom were to go in my foot. That instance would send you directly to the hospital. And if you're ever stung, please, you should seek medical attention as soon as possible. Needless to say, the stonefish certainly lives up to the legend of being the most painful fish on the planet. Oh, right there. That's an echidna. Look at that. Oh, yes! That is what we have been looking for all morning long. That is Australia's spikiest creature, the echidna. And it is, yeah, wow, that is sharp. Okay, the echidna from the top is a tank riddled with spikes and a super tough skin. But underneath the echidna is a soft belly. And I'm gonna try to work my hand underneath this animal so I can present it to you. This is probably going to be a challenge. Let's see if I get my hand underneath. Ready? here, buddy. It's okay. And he's just wriggling in there. Ah! Oh, he's spiking. Ah, he's getting me. Now, unlike a porcupine, their spines can't release, but they are super sharp nonetheless. Ow! Okay. Okay, he's really wedged in there, guys. This is gonna be tough. Ah! Yeah, getting nailed. All right, I'm gonna have to use some gloves here. There's no way I'm gonna be able to pry out this echidna. It is basically puffing up its body, using its spikes to wedge itself into this stump of the tree. All right, here we go. Luckily, I always carry a good pair of gloves with me on every adventure. There we go. I wanna get to the underside of the echidna that is much softer, and that should allow me to hold it for the scene. But I'm gonna have to do this really carefully. I'm trying to like work under all of the different spines. There we go. Okay, now these spines are nothing more than modified hairs, so this isn't hurting the echidna at all. It's only hurting me. Ah! Oh, you're sharp. Ow! Poked right through the glove. Okay, I've got the underside. Got the underside, this is good. Okay, I think I feel his foot. Ow! Oh gosh, you were really, get spined so bad. Okay, all right, I'm underneath him. I'm underneath him. This is good. The underbelly is so much easier to contend with. All right, right, got him, got him. I've got the echidna. We got one, guys. That is the echidna. Hello. All right, let's go this way. I see an opening over here, this will be perfect. So I think for the echidna to be most comfortable, it's gonna mean a little discomfort for me. I'm gonna attempt to take my gloves off to do this scene, not only in hopes that the echidna will be more comfortable and will show us that beak, but also as to show everyone why you should never pick up an echidna. Oh boy. Hello. This animal likes to hide by wedging against the nearest object. In this case, it's my foot. Gotta get to the soft belly part. Oh, so sharp. Come here. Come here. Every time I try to pick him up, his spikes break under the skin of my fingernails. Come on, come on, come on, Knuckles. Anybody who is a fan of the Sonic the Hedgehog video game definitely knows Knuckles the Echidna. And you are tough as nails, Knuckles. Yeah! Hey buddy, I'm gonna put you on my knee, if that's okay. It's going through my pants. Knuckles! Oh my gosh, it's so sharp. Okay, hi. You are the spikiest creature I have ever held with my bare hands. Oh my goodness. Okay. This animal from the top side is almost bulletproof from any predator. Not only does it have these sharp spines, but the top hide is very tough. Now, on the underside of the echidna, there's very soft underbelly along with its face. Hopefully, this echidna will get comfortable enough with me today to show its little face because it is super adorable. I'm trying to make it as comfortable as I can. As discomforting as it is for me, I want to show you that adorable little beak, the face of the echidna. Come on, buddy. I'm just gonna hold it here and try to be silent. Try to be silent! Oh my gosh. It's poking his nose at me. Come on, come out, say hi. Oh, I think we're gonna have an appearance of the echidna beak. Hi. Hello. Come say hi. Oh, I can see the eyeball. Come say hi. No, that's a no. Door slammed. There we go. Give it a shot. Show us your cute little mug. Try to be quiet. Fight through the pain. Because I want you to see the face of the echidna. Come out, show us. Show us the face. Here he comes. Can you see it? Guys, get the shot, get the shot. Hi, how are you? I'm not doing good. I hope you're doing well, though. All right, guys, that is the beak of the echidna, and it has been very painful to get on camera. You little spike ball. Okay. So you can see the boogery nose there. These animals just recently were discovered to be able to regulate their body heat by blowing snot bubbles on their nose. Oh man. Okay. Just gotta work through the pain a little bit. So an echidna feasts on a diet made up completely of ants and termites. In fact, this animal also has some of the best hearing of any animal in Australia, and it's so sophisticated, they can actually hear the termites and the ants crawling underground, which is why we have to be so quiet. It's so sharp. It is so sharp. And now, compared to the hedgehog, an echidna weighs a lot more. I would say this echidna is in excess of 10 pounds. And just the weight alone, makes it super sharp, and its spines, its spines are so sharp, guys. Okay. Now, you get a shot of that foot, you'll notice that it's actually backwards. That is a very unusual trait. A lot of times when people are tracking echidnas, they will actually follow them the opposite direction because of the fact that those hind feet are flipped in the opposite direction. These animals have long claws on the back of their feet that are primed for digging, and the echidna has the ability to dig in. And a lot of times when you see these in the environment, they are literally just a ball of spikes. In fact, the only predator that really targets the echidna here in Australia is the feral invasive fox. They'll actually pee on the back of these animals and get them to flip over to expose that soft underbelly. From the top, the echidna is almost bulletproof. From underneath, they're a little teddy bear. And that's why it curls up into a ball, just like this. All right. Look at that face. Ow, you hurt me. You hurt me so. Okay, put him down. Definitely drew some blood. That is like wildlife acupuncture. I do not recommend it. It's time to put our echidna back where we found it. And honestly, I'm not sure who's happier about this, me or the echidna. My hands are on fire right now. Ouch. With the echidna safely back in its tree and my hands throbbing in pain, it's now time to track down one of the rarest animals on the planet, the numbat, one of the last living relatives of the now extinct Tasmanian tiger. Most of the remaining numbats in the world live in Dryandra National Park, but Dryandra is completely surrounded by farmland, trapping the numbats inside. This forest is really the last place we can find them. Spotting one is going to be really challenging because they blend into the landscape perfectly. Luckily, just like the echidna, numbats feed on termites, so we know we're on the right trail. We searched the forest really hard for over 6 hours without a sign of anything. It was a ghost town, but just when I was thinking about giving up for the day, I noticed something furry running through the bushes. Oh my gosh, that's him. Oh my God. There he is. Found one. I got him. I'm filming a numbat. He's looking right at me. I can't believe it. Wow. This is one of the last numbats on the planet. Numbats are a critically endangered species with less than 1,000 left in the wild. Places like Dryandra National Park in Australia are so important in protecting species like this from going extinct. And that's why it's important that this forest remains standing. This has to be one of the rarest animals I've ever filmed. What's he doing now? What's he doing? No. Is he trying to crawl inside? No way. Never gonna fit. Ha! Look at his little legs go. He can barely fit. Is he gonna make it? Oh! And there he goes. I'm going to attempt to use this little stick to try to get a bulldog ant for our sting test. All right, got our forceps, small container. Now we just need the Bulldog Ant itself. I'm going to lightly disturb the entryway. Oh, here we go, got them already. That makes me nervous. The ants are starting to swarm. You see how big they are? This is like a volcano of ants. Oh gosh, almost got me. They're getting on me. All right, I'm gonna have to get our ant fast. Here we go. I got it. Yes. Oh man. Oh. There we go. We've got one. That is a really good sized bulldog ant. Starting to swarm a little too much to hang out here. Let's go reposition away from the nest so we can get a closer look at one of the scariest ants in the world. Australians fear these massive ants because they attack in swarms and without warning. If you accidentally disturb them, you can be covered in just a matter of seconds. Bulldog ants can be found all over Australia and often build nests in people's yards and local parks, which is exactly where we discovered these ants. This particular species is one of the largest, growing to over 1 inch in length. And of course, for this sting test, we wanted the big dogs, so we can compare how they rank against the legendary bullet ants of South and Central America. Now it's time to find out which is worse. All right, guys, it is officially go time with the bulldog ant. Look at the size of this insect. Size-wise, I would definitely say it gives the bullet ant a run for its money, but appearance, this ant is second to none when it comes to intimidation factor. But before I test the might of this insect, let's get it out of the container and take an even closer look at those jaws and its stinger. All right, here we go. Well, it's already jumping out. I want to be very careful right now. And they are so aggressive. Look at that, it's already biting on the forceps. I'm just gonna try my best to get a good grip. And I'm getting nervous, gosh, hang on. All right, I gotta get it on the ground. Here we go. Unlike other ants, they don't really react to scents and pheromones, they react to sight. So anytime I try to grab it with the forceps, it sees that I'm coming. There we go. Okay, perfect hold. There it is. No animal has been requested for a sting test more than the bulldog ant in the history of Brave Wilderness. And now I can see why. Wow, I have never seen a more terrifying looking ant in my entire life. Let's start at the top. Look at the size of those mandibles. They are like serrated shears attached to these bulbous eyes, almost like a vice grip, just ready to snap and pinch on to anything it can touch. Look at the eyes of the ant. You can really see how much it reacts by using its sight. Look how it turns its head to the different ways that I position my finger around it. And then, of course, before we get to the stinger, I just have to say, look at the size of those legs. Because they are visually stimulated, they use their extremely long legs to extend quickly and flick themselves onto any would-be predator, earning them the name jumping jacks. And then of course, we can see the stinger flying already from the abdomen. Like other stinging insects, only the females can sting. This is actually a sentry or a soldier ant tasked with guarding the front of the nest. And you saw, with just the slightest disruption, a fleet of soldiers came flying out of the nest ready for attack. They got all over my boots and nearly took a sting right away, but we saved the sting for this moment in the video. The sting of this ant is said to be one of the most painful experiences that you can get from any animal here on the continent of Australia. Some even argue in the world. The biggest difference between bullet and bulldog ant stings are the toxins they use. Bullet ants use a panerotoxin, which is slow building and can last for days, where bulldog ants use formic acid that causes instant pain. And when these ants swarm and cover people by the dozens, they have the ability to take down a fully grown adult. Holy cow, she's looking at me. Oh my gosh, look at that stinger go. I have a feeling this is going to hurt. I'm Mark Vins, and I'm about to enter the sting zone with one of the most terrifying ants on the planet, the Australian bulldog ant. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh God, you see the stinger going in? Ah! Yeah! That's a good sting. Ah! Yeah. Oh! Ah, it's really got its stinger in me. Ah, look at it, stinger's in. Ah! Ah! jar. Oh, that hurts. All right. Ah. Oh my gosh. Woo. Oh my goodness. Yeah, that burns. That is a super intense sting. Oh my gosh. Okay, hang on. Let me compose myself. Oh man. That was like instant fire underneath my skin. So much more like potent than the bullet ant. But I can tell you this, the bite was really nothing. Didn't really get a good grip on with those jaws, but it certainly got its stinger stuck in my arm, and it getting a little dry now. Hang on, my adrenaline's kicking in.
You okay, Mark?
Yeah, I'm all right, I think. All right. Geez, it's also hot out all of a sudden. All right, I think I'm good to continue on. All right. Oh, you bulldog. Oh, all right, see that stinger site? Got a little bit of a acute swelling, maybe some residual bumps, and it definitely burns. I would say the initial onset of the sting, it was like a lightning bolt, way more intense than a bullet ant, but I can tell you it's already starting to subside a bit. But wow, that is a rip shot of pain. Man. Really getting dry mouth, guys. The
Is your EpiPen in your backpack?
it is. I've got my EpiPen, don't worry.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't need it yet, but gotta monitor and make sure my tongue's not swelling up or anything. But holy cow, that sting is like a hammer. It's like somebody literally just took a hammer and went wham! Instantaneous pain. Not even a small delay. As soon as the stinger touched my skin, boom, it was on. Oh, I hope you enjoyed that one, because I don't think I want to go arm to stinger again with that intimidating little ant. Now, I am not out of the woods by any means. I'm gonna continue to monitor this sting over the next 2 days. I can tell you this, a single sting from a bulldog ant so far does not compete with the bullet ant. Unlike the bullet ant that just started to build and build and build, I'm starting to really get past that initial wave of pain. And now I'm just really more dealing with the after effects of adrenaline. Starting to get that like queasy stomach, cold sweat, and just simple nausea that I usually get after taking a sting. But a swarm of bulldog ants, I would estimate, could take even the most pain-tolerant person to their knees. All right, I think I'm gonna need some ice. Ugh. Sure enough, things got a lot worse. Just hours later, the redness and inflammation flared up and were joined by an intense itching that lasted for several days. Compared to other stings I've taken, this one was a sleeper that turned into a monster. Bulldog ant stings are known for their instant pain, so I was shocked when I was hit with these delayed reactions. While I did not experience the 24 hours of deep bone break pain that the bullet ant gave me, oh, that hurts. That is searing pain. This was far from an ordinary walk in the park. In fact, as of the editing of this video, my arm is still discolored and healing. If I were to have been swarmed and stung like the stick in the beginning of the video, it would have been a very bad situation. But now I know exactly why Australians go so far out of their way to avoid the jumping terror that is the bulldog ant. Oh, wants to bite me. I'm actually going to get chomped. Ready? 1, 2, 3. He's biting me. Oh, he's got me good. He's latched. He's latched. He won't let go. He won't let go. Oh, got one. Oh yeah. Woo, yeah. This, believe it or not, is one of the most famous creatures ever featured on the Brave Wilderness channel. That's right, the original Bloodworm video now has over 73 million views. But in that original adventure, we did leave a few things on the table that are definitely worth revisiting. Namely, the venomous bite of this creature. Actually, did Coyote take a bite?
Ow! Yay!
Did it bite you?
He got me!
I got that!
He got me. I felt it. It was a little pinch.
Let me see. Where'd he get you?
Right there, right in the crux of my finger.
I think we could do better than just a pinch for one of the world's only venomous worms. In fact, we learned something very important about this creature between the last adventure and today that's going to help us achieve a bite on camera. But before I go getting myself chomped for this new bloodworm experiment, we need to find a whole lot more worms than just this one. Let's keep digging. Bloodworms hunt for prey in the tidal mudflats of both the Atlantic and Pacific coasts of the United States and Canada. They have also earned the nickname sludge worm, since their habitat consists of thick mud and quicksand that can easily swallow your boots whole. To find these slimy predators, worm diggers use special rakes to quickly peel back mud and reveal worms on the move that could be sold as prize fishing bait. And while they can be difficult to find, some of the best worm diggers in Maine can collect up to 1,000 worms a day, with the largest ones growing up to 15 inches long. After hours of digging and covered head to toe in mud and sweat, we fill the bucket and set the stage for one of the worst bites we've ever filmed. Welcome to the Bloodworm bite table. What I have in front of me here are 5 very large bloodworms. No, these are not your granddad's night crawlers, folks. These are natural born killers. Armed with 4 venomous fangs and an appetite to match, we have been told that these worms pack one heck of a bite. Some people say that it's like a bee sting, and locals have even told us that they've seen worm diggers crawling out of the mudflats in near tears from being bitten by these carnivorous worms. But there is one key piece of information that we learned from the original bloodworm video to today, and that is you can actually head a bloodworm. Similar to how a herpetologist would head a venomous snake to keep it from biting them, I will actually attempt to grab the proboscis once it shoots out and then intentionally inflict my first bite. And yes, I said first bite. There's gonna be more than one. Now what I'm going to try to do is head the proboscis, and while I'm attempting to do this, let's review some of the most interesting facts about this bizarre marine oddity. The bloodworm is a venomous segmented worm that hunts invertebrates and other marine creatures. Armed with 4 razor-sharp fangs and a projectile mouth called a proboscis, they are voracious predators and are as aggressive as they are bizarre. One of the most shocking things about these worms is how normal they can appear and then in a split second transform into one of the most alien-looking life forms you've ever seen. And as if this wasn't creepy enough, things get even worse. Once the bloodworm has its prey ensnared in those hooked jaws, it will inject it with a paralyzing venom that incapacitates the victim, so it can be digested and eaten alive. This venom is chemically similar to that of a scorpion and is known to cause severe reactions in humans, including burning, tissue damage, and anaphylactic shock. Please do not attempt what you're about to see. Oh, almost got it. Ah, I missed it. Oh, come on. All right. I got it. Oh, wants to bite me. That is the proboscis of one of the biggest bloodworms I have ever seen. Holy moly. That's over a foot, for sure. Okay, time to get bitten by one of the only venomous worms on the planet, the bloodworm. Got a good hold on it. Here we go. 1, 2, 3. Ah! Yeah, oh, God, he's on me. Oh, look at that. Ah, he won't let go. Ah, he won't let go. Oh. Ah. Oh, he's in. Oh, he's really on there, guys. I can't get him off. He's biting me. Oh, he's got me good. Yeah, he got me. Oh man, it didn't break the skin. It was definitely latched into me, but its fangs I don't think are long enough to break the skin of my finger. I wonder if I try on a softer part. Let's try my wrist. It's a little bit thinner there, a little bit softer. All right, here we go. Let's go in for the second bite on 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah. Oh, yep. See him tug on the skin? Ah, he's latched. He's latched. Ah, yeah. Oh, I can't get him off. Yeah, he's got me. You see that? Ah, keep rolling, keep rolling. I'm gonna try to pry him off. He's really latched on. Come on, let go, let go. Ah, he won't let go. Oh, he won't let go. Gotta get him off. Ah. Oh. Oh yeah. That was a full-on bloodworm bite. Boy, that burns. Gosh, you get that shot?
Got
Those
it.
fangs were all the way latched in. Oh. Oh, that burns. Ooh, man, yes. You can see that there wasn't much blood produced from the bite, but I've got blisters forming, and that's likely due to all the inflammation and swelling. I feel it in the nervous system. My wrist is screaming right now. Super painful burning sensation, a lot like a wasp or a bee sting. Those fangs are like little talons, and it just grabbed right through the skin and did not want to let go. They were like barbs on a fishing hook. They were just in there, and really, I wasn't able to get the worm off until it decided to relax a little bit, and I pried it back. But those fangs are definitely sharp enough. Yikes, that hurt. Now that we've witnessed what a single bloodworm is capable of, let's see what happens when I submerge my hands in over 100 of them. Do bloodworms hunt in packs? We're about to find out. Before I attempt to feed my hands to these four-fanged terrors, let's take a look at what they did to some normal prey from the wild. While related and very similar looking to bloodworms, the sandworm is not nearly as formidable. And after a short time in a small aquarium, we can see they are also very much their food. The venomous bloodworms attacked and broke down the sandworms quickly, and what you're seeing now are signs of both chewing and dismemberment, a clear sign of active predation. If you thought one bloodworm bite was bad, check this out. Whoa! Look at all these worms. That is a container filled with over 100 bloodworms in this tank. And I'm going to attempt to submerge my hands into this tank of bloodworms for 2 minutes. All enough to figure out, do bloodworms hunt in packs? Ready? On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, that feels so weird. Ah, I just took my first bite. Hit me on the pinky. It was a bite and release. Oh, I could feel them. Yeah, I could feel more proboscis going. It's like you could feel them tense up and then poof, it fires out. The anticipation is killing me. If you could see them wriggling, they have their little sensory tips, sensing their environment for anything that they can eat or get those jaws on. Oh, I could see a lot of them are shooting their proboscis out already. They sense something foreign in their environment. I gotta look away. This is like too much anxiety just looking at this container. This has gotta be the creepiest thing I have ever done in my entire life. Just so disgusting, feeling all those worms wriggling around my fingers. One thing that we noticed earlier is that as soon as one of them fires their proboscis, it seems to create a rapid fire effect. They all do it at the same time.
They're going crazy.
They are. Feel them wriggling around my fingers. Oh man, oh yeah. Got another one. Oh my goodness, so creepy. All right, how much time left?
30 seconds left.
All right, this has gotta be the longest 2 minutes of my life. 2 minutes feels like an eternity. Oh, the bloodworm bite tank. Oh, this is horrible. Give me a countdown.
5.
Got me again.
3.
That's 3.
2.
once. Ah! Definitely got nailed on the pinky on this side, and I got 2 nips between my fingers, here and here. Definitely got nipped 3 times. Wow, that was weird. What a crazy day on the Brave Wilderness channel. Well, I don't know if we can definitively say that bloodworms like to hunt in packs, but I'll tell you this. They sure don't mind sharing a meal, but man, that original bite, that was a serious, serious chomp from a bloodworm. It is absolutely swollen and very tender to the touch. I have a feeling I'm gonna be in pain for quite a while on that one. And I was absolutely correct. The bite of a bloodworm was no joke and ended up becoming one of the most painful experiences I've endured so far. Overnight, the swelling increased dramatically, and the burning around the bite spread through my hand and up my arm, nearly locking my wrist. Then, days after the initial pain subsided, I had a secondary reaction, where the bite zone flared up with an aggressive rash and itched at least twice as much as poison ivy. In all, it took 3 weeks to heal from the bloodworm venom, and I am here to officially say the scary rumors of bloodworms are 100% true. So while these creatures are an important part of the intertidal ecosystem and a valued resource for fishing towns across Maine, you absolutely want to avoid their bite at all costs. Ouch! Exclamation point. Today, we're going zorbing. So what is zorbing, you might ask? Well, it appears pretty simple. Essentially, they stuff us into one of these inflatable balls, and then they roll us down a mountainside. What could go wrong? Mario, you want to do this too?
I will not be zorbing because I get a little motion sick and I don't want to add any liquids to the water that's already in there. Good luck, dude.
Let's do it.
See ya.
First things first, we gotta get to the top of the hill. Let's go. I'm gonna be walking up this hill 3 times today because there are 3 courses. There's the fast track, which just goes straight down the hill. There's the zigzag, which, as you can tell by the name, zigs and zags. And then the last course, course number 3, is called the drop. Now, I haven't seen this course, but I can kind of tell by the name. It includes some kind of free fall, and I figured that sounds like it's worth saving for last. So anyway, I'm at the top. I see the zorbs are about ready, and I'm about to get in and try my hand at one of New Zealand's favorite activities, zorbing.
All right, I figured I'd do a little bit of some play-by-play action. We got Mark up there. He's not in the ball yet. We've been waiting patiently. I'm anxious. I'm a bit nervous. I hope he accomplishes his dream. I'm just talking to the camera. Just talking to myself as usual. All right, this might be the moment. We've been here for over an hour. He's not in the ball yet. I think he's getting cold feet. I believe in you, Mark. You can do it. Get in that ball, bro. Get in that ball and roll down.
All right, how's it going? I'm Mark.
I'm Esther, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. So you're gonna be the one controlling the ride today.
I'm gonna be the one kicking you down the hill, yep.
Do you literally just stomp me down?
Sometimes I do that, but
Okay.
I might have to push you because you're a little bit heavier.
I'm a little bit heavier. Well, I did have a big breakfast this morning. I hope that's what you mean. But why don't we go through the protocol here? Like, explain to us what is zorbing and what's the goal of the experience?
So if you ever wonder what it's like to be inside a washing machine,
I do wonder that.
well, here it is.
Am I gonna be clean when I get to the bottom?
Surely, yeah. Sometimes we can put soap in there so you get all nice and squeaky clean.
Oh,
Yep.
I think it's probably time that I get shoved inside this ball and you kick me down the mountain.
Yep.
All right, cool.
Yeah.
High five.
Nice.
So here's what's gonna happen, guys. I'm about to dive into that hole, into this giant inflatable ball. It's not gonna pop, right? How often have you had them pop?
No, we haven't had any pop yet, but I always do a scope of the tracks every morning to make
Okay.
sure there's nothing on there to puncture it.
Did you scope it well today?
I did. I scoped it very well just for you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay, here we go. I'm gonna go ahead and dive in. So here we go, guys. This is my first time getting into a zorb and getting kicked off a mountainside, and yeah, here we go. I'm in. It's a big echo in here. You hear that? Yeah. I kind of figured it would be a little claustrophobic, but yeah, there's a lot of room in here, a lot of headspace. This just got real. I'm about to go down a mountainside in this giant inflatable ball room thing. So I think I'm ready. Let's do it. Let's go zorbing. I'm ready. Let's do it. Here we go. Oh.
Oh man, I could hear him scream. I don't know if that screams of joy or fear, but he's rolling. He is rolling.
Whoa!
Oh, buddy.
That is probably the coolest thing I've ever done. That is insane.
Dream for you?
You need to do this.
I don't know about that.
You need to do this. This is super cool.
Intense.
Dude, it's very intense.
You're
it's way more intense than it looks.
Oh, you're supposed. Oh, dude, you're like a little baby. You just were born. Welcome
I
to the
soared,
world.
and now I am born. I'm born in the New Zealand way, the most epic fashion possible. I just went zorbing, and it was amazing. I'm ready to do it again. That was round one. Now we're gonna go back to the top for course number 2, the zigzag. Here we go. Woo! Yes.
Mark just finished the first set of orbing. He came out a new man. He was all wet, steamy. I call it the orb of life. It's like a womb, and inside is water that's actually nutrients, and it gives it sustenance. So Mark is going for round 2.
Pretty cold up here. I just did my first zorb run. It was incredible. Now I'm doing run number 2. Let's get in the zorb and go for the zigzag. Here we go. Ready?
See ya.
Bye. Oh, here we go. Woo! Oh boy! Whoa! Whoa! Oh man, that is so epic. I'm good, guys. Getting a little,
There goes all the juices out. Oh, just like a little baby. What's up, buddy?
Definitely get a little motion sick after that one. That one was way, way crazier. Hitting those edges of the zigzag is just like, whoosh, and just like flip you around. For a minute there, I was just like straight going backwards. I couldn't see where I was going. That was pretty disorienting. One more run so I can complete the tracks and get the full zorbing experience. One more run means one more run up the hill. Here we go.
And he's off in his wet socks.
There it is. Final zorb. I've got one more run to go, and this one is the most epic of all. It's called the drop. Can't even see the track, so I have no idea how big the drop is, but I've heard that people get completely suspended in air to the middle of the zorb, so should be pretty cool. Wish me luck, guys. 2 runs down, 1 to go. Hopefully I make it, and also get to keep my breakfast. A little more control so I can talk to you. Oh, you're still dark. Try to walk. Try to walk. Get up. Here I go. Here I go. Oh yeah, this is just like a living Sonic. Watch. Oh, here we go. think we're going down. Oh yeah, we're going down. We're going down. Woo! Woo! Yeah! Woo! I'm good. Give me a minute. Getting a little sick, guys. I think 3 is my limit. 3 runs, 3 and done. That was crazy intense. I had to get up and walk the ball to the drop. And I just saw the path get dark and the ball went zing right down the mountainside. And that was definitely the fastest I've gone all day. That was crazy. I couldn't even hold the GoPro up at one point. And yeah, that was nuts. Oh, where's the tripod? Shoot, oh well. I'm getting out. That was Ormy, guys, that was awesome. Thanks, New Zealand. See you next time.
Born again.
I'm free.
Was the 3rd time the charm
That
or
was
no?
ridiculous, guys. That one was crazy. Woo! All right, guys. Well, that about does it. We had the full zorbing experience today here in Zorb, New Zealand. Even broke the tripod on the last run. In total, we did 3 runs. They were all amazing, and I highly recommend you come check out zorbing if you ever make it to New Zealand. All right, guys, I just got done night diving in Indonesia, and I cannot believe what we just filmed tonight with the Bobbit worm is mind-blowing. Total nightmare fuel, but super awesome at the same time. Check this out. You won't be sorry. We're starting our dive at dusk and we'll be focused on the seabed in front of us. This is typically when the most interesting creatures are active. And right away, there's a lionfish. These fish are down here hunting right now, and those spines on its back are covered in a potent neurotoxin that can cause excruciating pain and even paralysis in anything it touches. These waters are absolutely filled with them, as well as their cousin, the scorpionfish. So anytime I make contact with the ocean floor, I'll be checking to make sure that I don't land on anything I'm not supposed to. Now, I've seen a lot of bizarre and nightmarish looking creatures before. I've been bitten by bloodworms, burned by a fireworm, and even stung by the infamous man-o-war. But nothing makes my skin crawl quite like the bobbit worm. These elusive predators have built up a serious reputation over the years and even inspired monsters in movies like the ones in Dune and Tremors, both featuring killer sandworms that live underground that burst through the desert sand with their powerful jaws to attack and kill their prey. Those worms are science fiction. The bobbit worm you are about to see feed in the night is very real. Now, at this point in the dive, I had no idea I was going to find any bobbit worms, but these are the events as they unfolded, leading to that very moment. What we have here is a school of catfish. They use a very interesting schooling technique where they actually cascade over each other like a waterfall. They do this to take turns so they can stop and feed, but there's always another catfish to replace the front line. Grouping together like this helps ward off predators and makes the school of catfish appear like a much larger fish. All right, time to move on. Oh wow, look at that. I have never seen one of these nudibranch before. This one is actually called a bubble shell. It gets its name because of that shell right there at the center of its body. Now, these shells are different to the ones on a typical snail. They are thin, fragile, and too small to fit the entire animal inside. But it is absolutely stunning in coloration. Look at those bright blue edges. It almost glows out here in the darkness. Very cool. On night dives like this, you really never know what you're going to find. It's a very alien-like environment, and when you're out here in the muck, it almost appears like the lunar surface. here is another really bizarre and unique creature. This is a cuttlefish. Related to the octopus, these sea creatures are super intelligent. In fact, some scientists believe they're more intelligent than their 8-armed cousins. Let's carefully swim up for a closer look. What's really unique about these creatures at first sight is how they change their coloration almost instantaneously. Oh, look at this, it's moving into hunt. Oh, it almost got that fish. That fish was so lucky. Oh. The cuttlefish is turning right toward me. Look at that coloration change. Now, some scientists believe not only did they change their coloration as a camouflage technique, but they can actually communicate through the change in color and pattern in their skin. I wonder if it's trying to tell me something. Clearly it knows that I'm no longer a threat. It's hanging out. Let me just put my hand out right. Guys, this is too cool. This cuttlefish is so comfortable with us that it's letting me almost use my hand as a perch. Now, make no mistake, these cuttlefish are super fast and it could swim away in a split second if it wanted to. And it's likely just as curious about me as I am about it. Holy cow. I'm almost at a loss for words. All right, let's grab our dive rig and keep adventuring into the night. Wow. That's a pair of moray eels. This is one of the animals that divers need to be especially careful around because they are super territorial and they also have razor sharp teeth. If you stick your hand in the wrong place down here, you can take a pretty aggressive chomp from one of these large eels. And the biggest problem is once they bite, they don't let go. They can even spin into a death roll similar to a crocodile. We're gonna leave those two alone and keep moving forward. Now that is a porcupine fish, and a super colorful one at that. A lot of the porcupine fish that I'm used to seeing are more brown and gray in coloration. This one is more of a reddish maroon. And oh, I found something so cool. Guys, check this out. This is a bobtail squid. I've always wanted to see one of these. Now these bobtail squid really look like a little octopus because of their super long tentacles. They're almost the in-between between a cuttlefish and an octopus. But these bobtail squid are also super intelligent and extremely charismatic. It's trying to bury itself beneath the sand to hide away from our cameras. I see you. Look at it using its little arms to cover itself with sand and sediment to try to blend in. You can still see its little siphon is uncovered there. Wow. Whoa. Look out for those. Those are scorpion fish, and they are venomous. Related to the stonefish, these scorpion fish have venomous spines on the dorsal and pectoral fins, and if you accidentally brush into them, they can give you a really nasty sting. I know all too well just how it feels, because I once took a sting from the scorpion fish and I've tested myself. The sting of a man-o-war. Ah, man, that one nailed me. What is that? That's a bobbit worm. Oh my gosh. We gotta get in for a closer look. Those mandibles, look at those jaws, they are huge. If that's not a sci-fi monster, I don't know what is. And look at its skin. It's iridescent. It almost has a rainbow shimmer to it. And you could see its serrated jaws open and ready to clasp onto any would-be victim that crosses its path. And do you see those little antennae right by the jaws? Those are sensory organs, sensing the chemicals and vibrations in the water so it can detect prey and launch out for an attack. And with a body length of up to 10 feet, there's a lot more to this worm than meets the eye. And using all that friction that it has from that long burrow, it possesses incredible strength and can take down large fish as prey in a split second. Let's see if we can get the bobbit worm to snap its jaws for the cameras. Whoa! Oh my goodness. Wow. Now not only are those jaws serrated, but the bristles along its body are actually venomous. And the bobbit worm uses them as a defense mechanism. So it's not just the jaws you have to worry about. Oh no! The little porcupine fish followed us over. It must be attracted to the dive lights. That porcupine fish is very lucky to have escaped the bobbit worm. But that was pretty interesting to see it use its defense mechanism to puff up like that and to be successful with it. Whew, that got my heart racing. Let's wait here for a second to see if this bobbit worm can find any other prey. Look who showed up. The scorpion fish has come in to take a look. I wonder if the scorpion fish thinks this bobbit worm could be food. It certainly is creeping in really slow. Let's hang here for a second to see what happens. I cannot believe what we just saw. I think we're gonna need to see that one more time, but this time we're gonna slow it down. You can really see how the bobbit worm inspired the movies Dune and Tremors. Look at the sand bubbling. I can only imagine what's happening down there below the surface. That might be the most disturbing thing I have ever seen on any dive I've ever been on. Wow. Scientists are still uncovering the mysteries of this notorious creature, not only seeking to understand its behavior, but also its role in the environment. All right, guys, we just got the call. We are on a sea turtle rescue mission, and right now there's a turtle on a beach about 15 miles north from here and needs our help. These sea turtles, when they end up beach, it's because they're distressed and they can no longer swim. And without programs like the one we're participating in, they would all certainly die. So needless to say, this sea turtle right now, its life depends on us. Just this past year alone, more than 850 sea turtles were rescued off the shores of Massachusetts, a number that has been sadly increasing. Endangered sea turtles like the Kemp's Ridley, green, and loggerhead are washing up on beaches due to cold stunning, and the changing climate is only making matters worse. I think I see it. Yep, here's our turtle. A volunteer was combing this beach and they discovered this Kemp's Ridley sea turtle, and this is exactly what they're supposed to do. They're supposed to take the turtles off of the beach, away from the wind, and then you can see it was covered here with this bit of straw to protect it from exposure. And it does look like we are in time for this sea turtle to have a chance, because you can see it still has a little bit of strength in its neck, just enough to pick up its head. And that is a very good sign, because most of the turtles that you find that are cold stunned cannot move whatsoever. So let's bundle this little turtle up and take it to the Wellfleet Sanctuary, where it will start its process of rehabilitation and hopeful re-release back into the wild. Rapidly fluctuating sea temperatures due to climate change are narrowing the window for these turtles to safely migrate south each year. Rising sea temperatures are holding the turtles in northern waters for too long, and any sudden drop in water temperature below 50 degrees results in a mass cold stunning event for these marine reptiles. We have to be super quiet, because these turtles are already really stressed, and loud noises have been proven to stress them even further. Oh, poor little turtle. We did notice that it had a bit of a response when we picked it up off the beach, like it had some ability to raise its head.
So that's pretty rare, honestly. A lot of the time these turtles are barely moving at all. Sometimes we'll think a turtle's dead and we'll leave it overnight to assess in the morning to make sure that it's still alive. Yeah.
Cool. Is this our turtle?
This is our turtle.
All right, how do we know that this turtle isn't dead?
So when we first bring it onto this processing table, we will check to see if its flippers are in rigor.
Rigor is short for rigor mortis. When an animal dies, it starts to seize up and all of its joints and body parts become stiff.
So there was slight movement right there.
Saw that.
Yep, we'll kind of gently tug on their back flippers, and then we'll touch their eye for a small eye response as well. And then what we'll do is we will actually use this pit tag scanner here, because sometimes these turtles wash in and they have been tagged and no tag was detected here. Then the next thing we'll do is we will take measurements of its carapace. We will look to see if there are any injuries on the turtle anywhere, sometimes from pecking from seagulls if they've been sitting on the beach for a while. And then they'll sometimes have some wounds on their carapace.
And that's why it's so important to get these turtles off the beach as quickly as possible.
Each animal receives a number upon entry to the Wellfleet Bay Wildlife Sanctuary. And of the 4 sea turtles we assisted in rescuing, number 569 was the first to be sent for urgent care.
On your way, bud.
So we quickly mobilized and followed it to the New England Aquarium's Sea Turtle Hospital.
Look at all these turtles. Okay, we'll see you in a little bit. Let's go, guys. All right, here we are at the Sea Turtle Hospital. Let's go inside to see our Kemp's Ridley start its rehabilitation process. Come on this way. All right, how's it going, Adam? Thanks for having us.
Thank you for coming.
So are these our turtles?
These are our turtles, and you got 569, and the Kemps are very similar looking. And as you'll see, there's lots of turtles everywhere. Only once they get into the water, they look even more similar. So we'll bring them up, we'll put a number on their shell, and we put a band around their flipper. So that way when we're looking for certain turtles, especially when they're in the water, they'll be easier to find.
Awesome.
Now we're gonna try to listen to see what the heart rate sounds like.
Cool. And their metabolism at this rate is very slow.
Extremely slow.
And that's why you need these special instruments to be able to read that. We're listening for the turtle's heartbeat. So far, I just hear static. Oh, I think I just heard a whoosh. So this turtle's significantly lower heart rate than it's going to be when it leaves.
Exactly,
Okay.
yeah. So with that, we will give it a dose of epinephrine. That will help get that heart rate a little bit up there and a little bit more prep for a swim.
So this is like the jump start for the rehabilitation process here at the hospital.
Once a sea turtle receives epinephrine, it is then placed in a small pool of water for observation. Also called a swim test, this is where the clinical team will look for signs of other damage and possible infections.
Let's see how 569 does.
So that's a great sign, obviously, that nice little breath there. And turtle's going into the water. And so, yeah, I mean, he's ready to go.
That.
For these turtles, freshwater is important because of the dehydration piece. Helps rehydrate them. 1 or 2 days in that freshwater won't be detrimental, and then they're into the full saltwater tanks. These turtles have been out there breathing in cold air, water, so we see a lot of pneumonia. So you can kind of see he's slowing down a little bit there.
Okay.
We also see how high in the water he is, so he's definitely got some gas in his system there that's keeping him very floaty. As you can see, and he has some odd coloration in those front flippers, so he may have some skin issues that over the next few days as he warms up might become a little bit more prevalent.
So I'm not trying to put you on the spot, Adam, but in your professional experience, how would you say our turtle here, number 569, is looking in terms of its potential for rehabilitation?
Yeah, no, the prognosis for this turtle at this point would be good. I saw some bubbles coming out of the ears, the nose. Then you saw him lift his head and took a nice breath. So that's all great things.
Love it. That is so great to hear. And it's so nice to see the turtle lively again. I feel like most people who would encounter one of these cold stun turtles on the beach might even think they were already dead. But sure enough, here at the hospital, after a little shot of epinephrine and a chance to swim, we've got a lot of movement. All right, so now that our turtle has swam for the first time at the hospital, part of the rehabilitation process of warming them back up to the appropriate temperature, which is about 72 degrees, takes a few days. After treating nearly 5,000 turtles, this facility has learned quite a bit about how to bring the temperature back up in the appropriate way, and the best way they found to do it is a staged process over days using multiple tanks. Over the next 2 days, they will actually be placed in the saltwater baths that will raise them up to about 65 degrees and then eventually up to the 72 degrees that you'll see here in the holding tanks. These turtles here, they're already being raised up to temperature. Pretty cool, and definitely something that really helps these turtles stand a chance of being re-released.
Along with being critically endangered, the Kemp's Ridley is also the rarest sea turtle on the planet. Once abundant, their population suffered a massive crash in the 1980s, where as few as 250 nesting females were estimated to remain. Luckily for the world's smallest and rarest sea turtle, large-scale conservation efforts helped restore their population to stability by the mid-2000s. However, with current climate trends being as they are, the pressure is now back on to save this species from extinction.
I've heard reports that the Kemp's Ridley are somewhere in the population of 30 to 40,000 individuals in the world. Is that what you've heard also?
They are a critically endangered population.
So, I mean, the fact that you're seeing thousands of turtles come to the facility, this is a significant mass of this species.
Getting these guys through and back into the ocean is critical.
Well, this is not the end of the road for the video, guys. We actually have one more step that we want to show you as part of this turtle rehabilitation program. This one, though, is going to take us
on a short trip to the airport. So as you can see, we are no longer in the Sea Turtle Hospital. We are in an air hangar because there's an amazing volunteer program called Turtles Fly 2 that takes these sea turtles down to warmer waters in the southern United States, where they will finish their rehabilitation and be released back into the wild much sooner than Mother Nature would allow here in New England. And we just got word that the turtles will arrive, so it's time to get to work and load up these sea turtles. All right, so you have a van load and a truckload full of sea turtles that are being loaded up by volunteers and aquarium staff onto this aircraft right now. They're trying to set a record today by loading 100 sea turtles onto this airplane. That's a lot of reptiles. So right now the pilot and the co-pilot are up there playing a little bit of turtle Tetris to try to get all of these animals loaded up onto this aircraft. It takes a lot of resources to fly these turtles, so they want to make sure every flight is efficient and as productive as they can. Trying to get one more up there.
Yeah, I think they have a little shorter banana box.
Okay. Nice. Oh, there's more turtles. There's always more turtles. Last one. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
All right, got the final turtle box to load into the aircraft. Last one. Something I never thought I would say. Turtles on an airplane. But here in New England, it happens about a dozen times a year. That's cool. The turtles that make the flight to Florida are the ones ready to be released back into the wild. But others needing more long-term rehabilitation, like our friend 569, will continue to receive care at the Sea Turtle Hospital until they are ready to be released when spring returns to New England. Researchers have predicted that by 2031, just 8 years from this video's release, thousands of cold-stunned sea turtles will wash up on New England shores every single year. It takes an amazing collaboration to combat these events and return healthy sea turtles into the ocean to rejoin their populations. From emergency veterinarians to airplane pilots to hundreds of beachcombing volunteers, I was so proud to play a small part in saving these rare and endangered animals. But the work continues every single day from the cold shores of Cape Cod to the warm waters of South Florida. And these wildlife heroes need our support. Please join Brave Wilderness in the New England Aquarium by clicking the link in the description to donate, spread awareness, or perhaps volunteer yourself in the effort to save these beloved treasures of our oceans. If you enjoyed that episode, make sure to search for the Brave Wilderness channel on YouTube so you can join me and the crew on our upcoming adventures.